In some organizations, it is useful to have a single volunteer database in which different users have access to only some of the volunteer records. Volgistics makes this possible through a feature known as site-level access. With site-level access, an organization creates 2 or more sites in their Volgistics database, and then makes 1 or more system operators a site-level operator for a specific site. When a site-level operator uses Volgistics, they only see the volunteers associated with their own site, not the volunteers associated with other sites. To these site-level operators, Volgistics appears to include only the volunteers for their site. At the same time, Volgistics operators who have not been given a site-level restriction can see and work with all of the volunteer records from all of the sites when they log in. When you use site-level access, your organization's headquarters can establish certain database and record-keeping standards. This can help you apply organization-wide volunteer management policies and keep information consistent, an important task if you want to generate organization-wide reports and statistics. These database standards can include the choice of which fields you use, what lookup table entries are created, who can access the system and what they can do, and the creation of organization-wide reports, including service reports and statistics. Volgistics is even easier for site-level operators to understand and use, since some or all of the administrative functions are performed for them. This is especially beneficial in organizations where volunteer management is just one of the many responsibilities the site-level operators have. When site-level operators generate reports, their reports include just their site's volunteers. Headquarters can generate reports that include all volunteers from all sites. System operators have access to either all sites or just to one site. There is not a way to create system operators who have access to multiple, but not all sites. While site-level access provides great convenience, it may not, and is not intended to, provide a level of security in which operators at one site could never discover any information about volunteers from another site in the same Volgistics account. For example, when a volunteer serves at more than one site in the same Volgistics account, their record is shared between those sites. In this case, the operators at the sites sharing the volunteer are privy to some common information about that volunteer. In addition, there are reporting features in Volgistics that enable the headquarters site to create reports that list all volunteers for all sites if they choose to. The headquarters site could then make these reports available to all system operators at all sites. A good rule of thumb is, when you use site-level access, your system operators should be people you would trust with any volunteer information in your account, even if they normally only see their own volunteer records. If you need a higher level of security between the different sites in your organization, consider using a separate Volgistics account for each site. With separate accounts, you can be sure operators from one account will never see information in another. However, you'll no longer have the advantages of a common database and organization-wide settings.